So in this video we're going to show you how to perform a basic traffic stop. A vehicle is going to speed past us in a moment and we're going to pull them over and you'll just see how to conduct a standard traffic stop. Okay.
Rear, closing, front, away.
So the vehicle's blown past us, the radar locks on with the maximum speed, so we can use that when we're looking at potential offences. We've gone into code 3 and hopefully the vehicle will pull over and we can then conduct this traffic stop. Okay, so when you're doing any sort of interaction with the public, you need to make sure that you get onto the radio and just let everyone know. So this is Alpha 001 conducting a traffic stop with a yellow sports car at postal 8163, no additionals required. So we put that over the radio, we give what we're doing and where we are, and if it's a traffic stop, the basic description of the car. Okay. This allows any other officers that if we call for backup they know what's going on and where we're going to be. Okay. Within the LSPD we don't use Timecodes because it's far too complicated. Every Timecode is different from server to server, so we just use plain English, nice and simple. Okay, so we've got the vehicle stopped now. We're going to step out of the vehicle. Make sure you lock your vehicle. This does slow down if you've got to get back in if they drive off, but it's safer to have your vehicle locked so that people can't steal the vehicle than it is to leave it unlocked with the speed of getting back in. Okay, so we're now going to approach the vehicle. As we approach the vehicle we use our third eye and this will allow us to leave a fingerprint on the vehicle. Okay, what that does is if it does make off, when we search for evidence we can then see that that's the vehicle that we touched, and we do a quick inspection of the vehicle to see if there's anything outstanding on it, like if the driver is drunk or drugs or anything like that. Okay, but nothing's come up, so that's fine. So, good evening, madam. Do you know why I pulled you over today?
No.
Okay, so I've got you speeding at over 100 miles an hour back there. Is there any reason for the excessive speed?
Oh yeah, I wasn't aware of how fast I was going. My speedometer was broken, so I was just gonna go get a new one.
Alright, okay. And do you have a driver's license on you at the moment?
No, I accidentally left it home because I was leaving the house in a rush.
Alright, and is this your vehicle?
It is, yes.
Okay, and what's your name, madam?
Jennifer Hill.
Alright, if you just want to sit tight here, I'm just going to run your details. So what we do is just tell them why we've stopped them, ask them some standard questions relating to the stop, and try and ascertain their identity. So they said they didn't have their driver's license physically on them, that's fine. We can check the information on our database. So we get back into the vehicle, lock the vehicle again, okay, and then we press K to bring up the MDT. Now they said that their name was Emily Hill, or Jennifer Hill, sorry. So we, in the profiles up here, we type in Hill, there we go, Jennifer Hill. So we click on that and we can see some details. So we can see that they've got no previous convictions. Okay, and you can click there and you can see if they have any previous convictions. And we can show any previous incidents. If they own any properties, everyone gets a basic apartment which is listed here, but if they own any houses that will show there. And then any sort of tags, whether they're known for drugs or gangs or whatever. We can see all their licenses. We can see that they do have a driver license and a weapons license, and we can see all their listed vehicles. So the one in front of us, I think it was T6N. We can just have a quick look. T6N, yep. So that one is there, so that's their registered vehicle. What we can do is we can right click on that and do search vehicle. This will then search the DMV and see if there's any sort of information on there, whether it's got a bolo or anything like that, whether it's registered or stolen, etc. Okay, so we go back to the profiles. They've got a driver's license, so we're going to look at issuing them with a speeding citation, depending on how fast they were going over the speed limit. So what we need to do now is create an incident. Okay, so you click on incidents, then you click on this plus up here. That will create a new incident. So we'll just do the name here. And I've got caps lock on, haven't I? So that's gone all weird. J.Hill. If they've got a long name, just try and shorten it. And then for the charge, we want to put speed in. Okay, if there's lots of charges, just put the main one there, because this title can only be so long. Auto populates with today's date. We can fill this out momentarily, but what we need to do is put our details in here. So Jordan Woods, and then criminals involved, and we'll search for Hill. That's Jennifer Hill. If there was any witnesses, we put them in the civilians involved. Okay, if there was any victims of the crime, etc. Now what we need to do here is, as it says here, right click below to add or modify change charges. So we click there, and then we can search for speeding, and we can have a look. So if you mouse over, you can see how far the different types. Okay, so depending on how fast they're going depends on what sort of infraction they're going to get, or offence they've committed. So for the purposes of this, we'll say that they're only going 35 over the speed limit. They were going faster, but we're not going to cover the jailing process in this video. So we just select that, and we can add multiple charges in there. Okay, and then we just press escape to close that. So what we're going to do then is, it says a recommended fine there, so that's what it should be. So that's pretty much the maximum you can do. You can lower it if you want. Okay, officers have dispensation to lower the fines if necessary. Okay, now this will save in place, so if we close it we can come back to it without any problems. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to inform them of the offence and let them know that they're going to be receiving a speeding ticket. Okay. Alright then, madam, so you're going to get a speeding ticket for the excessive speed. Okay, and I'm going to put a note on the record for this vehicle to say that it's got a broken speedometer. Alright, so if you do get pulled over for excessive speed again and you say that it's got a broken speedometer, then the vehicle will be impounded, because this is essentially a fix-it ticket. Okay?
Alright, thank you very much.
Alright, the fine's going to be $450. Alright, that will automatically get deducted from your account. Okay, and you'll receive a citation in the post. Alright, if you have any questions, you can take that citation to police headquarters, and if you want to debate the fine or anything like that. Okay? Alright, if you have a lovely day, and remember to keep that speed low, and get this vehicle fixed as soon as possible, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, officer. Alright,
take care. Alright, so we get them on their way. Alright, it was a minor infraction, there's no need to keep them forever while we do our paperwork. So we get back in the vehicle, and then we can fill out the paperwork here. Alright. Okay, so we've completed the report. There were parts in the default template that weren't needed, so they were just simply removed. So we put a brief summary explaining, what is happening, then the immediate actions, what I did, with a bit of context as to what happened after the initial interaction, and in the conclusion just stating that we issued a fine and told them to fix the vehicle. And then case status, put that as closed, okay, because although they're not being jailed, they are going to be issued with the fine. We state what the fine is going to be in the report. This report gets sent to our Discord server. We click to say that they're guilty and processed. Okay, if they wanted to challenge it, then we could, go through that rigmarole. But with traffic offences like speeding tickets and whatnot, it's pretty much you're guilty, you get fined, and then you can appeal it in court and get your money back at that point. Okay, so we just check to make sure that everything's in there that we need to put in there, and then once we're happy, we press the save button. Okay, That will then save it to our database, send it over to our Discord, and you can then see it there. And then at that point we're then going to click the find button. The reason why we do this is that the citation needs to have all this information stored within it, so that if they do want to appeal it, they can produce the citation and it will have the actual case ID there relevant. Okay, so then we click the find. That automatically gets taken out from the player's account, and they'll be given a citation into their inventory. Okay, so as we said, we're going to put a marker on the vehicle, so we go back to the DMV tab, and we have the vehicle still here. So we just put a little note: speedometer broken, and then today's date. So 8/5/2024, and then we press save. Okay, we have to make sure that we save all this information, and then that's all there. So if they get pulled over again, somebody looks at the details, they can see that they've already had this excuse used before, and then it'll escalate them to get the vehicle impounded. And that is how you do a standard traffic stop. Once you've finished, lights off, and then back onto the radio. Alpha 001, show me back 10.8. We use 10 codes for certain things, like 10.8, 10.7, back in duty, you can say. Alright, and then we reset the speedo by pressing 8 at 5. 8 does the front, 5 does the back on your numpad. Okay, and then if somebody goes past, it will trigger again. That concludes how to do a standard traffic stop.